We also have on the phone line Mr. Atmaram Deshpande, who is, of course, a spokesperson for the Goa police. Sir, you just mentioned, we in fact played a soundbite of yours where you said that if it is consensual sex and if it is between two agreeing adults, it is not considered an offence. First of all, tell us, isn't it an offence to circulate a video clip, and isn't it shocking that, this is being taking place inside a police van?
Yes, indeed. Our stand has been very clear. This is a matter of grave indiscipline. Of course, there is no doubt about this.
All right. So what kind of action is expected to take place against these erring cops?
So action has already commenced. The concerned head constable is already placed under suspension, and a departmental inquiry against all the other concerned persons who were part of the entire episode is being framed. Right now we are framing charges which will be served on them. The head constable stands already suspended.
No, but Mr. Deshpande, even if it's consensual, even if you're saying that this is not considered offence, a police person in uniform committing an act like this inside a police van, isn't this shameful? And don't you think this in itself is a crime?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that, please?
I was saying that, you've been maintaining, in fact, the Goa police have been maintaining that this is not considered an offence. But, a police person in uniform committing an act like this inside that too, a police van, isn't in itself a crime? It's absolutely shameful.
No, it is shameful and matter of grave indiscipline. That we have said from the first day, so from day one. It is, in fact, this whole episode has been investigated and looked into by the police. Not members of public have not brought it to light. It is us. It is an internal matter of internal investigation that has revealed this. In fact, the inspector of Kalangut police station, who first came across, the minute he has come across this MMS, he has immediately filed a report to the district superintendent, who has forwarded the report to the headquarters. Thereafter, we have taken up this matter. The head constable concerned was immediately suspended within a matter of 24 hours. And further action is being initiated. So these are all administrative actions which are initiated. What you are referring to is the criminal action. The criminal action has to follow. If we have to go by what is defined under section 154 of CRPC, for that we need to have proper grounds, and we need to have a complaint in place. That's where the question of consensual sex and all other issues come. As far as
have you been able to figure out, the victim? Have you been able to trace her? Sir, have you been able to get a statement from her? She could also have been intimidated, and that's why no complaint must have been lodged by her.
Of course, that possibility cannot be ruled out. We are not ruling out that possibility. We have already identified the female concerned in this MMS. We are in a process of tracing her. As soon as we trace her, we find her, we are definitely going to record a statement. She is going to be part of the departmental proceeding also as a witness to this whole case. And the minute she gives us a statement indicating any criminal content, immediately a FIR would be registered against the concern. So we are absolutely clear about this fact.
Mr. Atmaram Deshpande, do you still stand by what you said, that if this act is being committed between two adults and it is consensual sex, it is not considered a crime? It's not considered an offence? Do you still stand by that?
By the definition of section 376 of IPC, yes, I go by that. Okay. The definition of rape per se, I go by that. Yes, it is true.
Okay, if it is true, then sir, just elaborate. Does that mean that, if you're walking down on the streets of any state and you see two adults in an act like this, consensual sex, would that mean that, you would just turn a blind eye to that, or you would take any action against it?
No. This is, you are diversifying the issue here. This is not something which has happened on a street. You don't equate the two issues. This is not something which has happened in a street. This has happened in an isolated place. Away from any private place. I'm sure a lot of these things happen inside closed rooms. Inside closed rooms, if there is no consent, there is the question of unless the victim or the female concerned is a minor, then the whole issue of consent, etc. goes out. But then what we are looking at is not something which has happened on a street. For God's sake, please don't diversify this issue into something like that.
No, but sir, then what would you describe a police van? What would you describe that?
It is a matter of grave indiscipline, of course. The concern, we have seen the MMS, the concerned head constable was in uniform. It is a grave indiscipline, and we don't at all condone it. We condemn it with our fullest possible might that we can.
But sir, it's very strange. Isn't it not a crime, to have consensual sex inside a police van.
Raise the question of this. That's what I'm saying. We have already identified this with the female concerned in this MMS. We are trying to trace her down. The minute we trace her down, we get the statement.
Mr. Deshpande, do you agree?
Anyways, we will register a FIR and we'll go ahead. In absence of the female, it is going to be a bit difficult because we'll have to go by the testimony of others. For administrative action has already commenced. We are already on the administrative front. We have taken punitive steps and we are going to take it to a logical conclusion. Now, only question remains is of the criminal case, which we have to follow the procedure that has been laid available. CRPC, IPC, we have to follow the procedure.